All right, now that you've watched the video, we're going to click on this link here just as an overview. So an overview, we use library databases for different types of information like scholarly journal articles, popular magazine articles, newspaper articles, reference book articles, books, and there are no sponsors or ads. So if you just used an internet search, like if you searched on Google or Bing, a lot of things are things that you have to pay for. So if you think about like apps on your phone, if you get a free app on your phone, you can do a lot of stuff with that app, but you're going to have lots of ads. There's going to be a whole lot of fancy advanced features that are going to be unavailable to you unless you pay for that app. Things kind of work the same if you just do a Google or a Bing search. There might be something that says, oh, we've got this resource for you. You click on it and then you have to pay to actually have access to that resource. But internet searches are good for things like popular websites if you are needing to just do something really quick on Wikipedia. For example, if you want to see how tall Tom Cruise is. It's not a life or death type of thing. It's not a huge piece of information. If you're just needing to know that information for your own good, then Wikipedia would be a good source for that. Commercial websites, educational websites. So if you see something that's an educational website, like from a college, that's probably a good source that you could use for a research paper. Government websites, anything that ends in .gov, that's probably a pretty good website that you could use too. Statistics, things from like the US Census Bureau. Organizational websites, if the website ends in a .org, there's a possibility that that's a more reputable website. You'd still want to go through and double check. Current news and information, like news sources, and then email and chat. Those are all good things to use internet search engines for, but there are going to be lots of sponsors and ads and a lot of things that you have to go through. You're going to have to evaluate it using the CRAP test. So if you use the internet, you have to see, is it current? Is it relevant? Do they have authority to write on that topic? Is there accuracy? And what's the purpose? Are there any biases on that website? So if you're using a website, you have to go through all of those things to try and decide if it's a good source. If it's a library database, you already know that it's a good source. So it's going to save you some time. Okay? All right, so let's talk about what databases you should use. So this is the part of the presentation or the lesson for today where you will want to think about your topic and think about which one might be best for you to use. So some of the main databases that I would suggest you use for your project are SIRS, Points of View Reference Center, History Reference Center, Britannica, Culturegrams, Explora, GAIL or Research in Context, and Newspaper Source. These are all available through our AEA, and there will be a login for a lot of them. Some of them might let you log in with your Google, so I'll show you all of that. All right, so to start off with Britannica. Britannica is an encyclopedia. So remember back in the day you used to have a whole shelf full of books. Now we just go ahead and use it on the internet. They have brief articles that give short overviews of topics. So this is if your topic is something that, let me click on Britannica here. If your topic is something that you need some facts, so you might need to research and find some facts for your research paper. So when you click on Britannica, you're going to click on the middle, and then the search bar is up here at the top. So a good example of a topic that would be good for Britannica would be like if you have a certain religion that you want to research. So you're going to type that in. I'm just going to click on the top article that pops up here. And this is just going to give me like an introduction to Hinduism. It's going to talk about the origins of Hinduism, different time periods throughout Hinduism. So it gives me just kind of some good basic information. If I go to the top here, it's going to give me some images and videos about Hinduism. And then it's also on the related tab, it's going to give me some related things. So some articles about maybe some people that are important to Hinduism, some geography that's important to Hinduism. So that's Britannica in a nutshell, just if you have kind of a very basic topic that you need some facts about. Britannica would be a good source for that. The next one is culturegrams. Culturegrams have articles and content that are focused on cultures from around the world. So if we click on culturegrams, there's the World Edition, there's Kids Edition. So if you need something that's maybe a little bit easier reading level, that might be something to try out. There is one for Canada, and then there's one for the United States. So let's say I want to do my report on Iowa. Show you what kind of information pops up with culturegrams. It just kind of gives you some basic facts. It gives you information about the place, so climate, geography, resources, and economy. It gives you some history, timeline, ancient Iowans, what is in Iowa history. It gives you information about the people. It gives you some cultural notes, so American Gothic, a very famous painting that originated from Iowa, the Big Ride, Ragbri, and some fun facts and contacts. Okay, so this would be, let's say you're doing maybe a report about the Australian wildfires or the wildfires in California or Oregon right now. You might want to know some facts about Australia and its climate, or California or Oregon, its climate and its people. Okay, so those are good databases if you just need some background information, some facts to add into your research paper. All right, if your topic is more about current news, you are going to want to focus on EBSCO, Explora, Newspaper Source, and GAIL Research and Context. There's newspaper, magazine, and journal articles with GAIL. Okay, so in EBSCO, and you will notice right up here, it says for the database, for EBSCO databases, you're going to have to add an asterisk to sign in. I'm going to go ahead and try and just do a sign in with Google. Now, I'm a teacher. I don't have a student account. I have a teacher account, so it might be a little bit different, but it looks like it let me in with Google. So go ahead and try that Google sign in. If it doesn't let you in with that, then there is the school password that you can use. So you would just go into new search, and let's search for wind energy. So this is going to be more of just kind of your general topics that you need some information on. So it came up with a whole bunch of different articles for that. All right, going back to this, Explora, it's basically the same as EBSCO, but Explora has more of an elementary focus to it. So if we click on Explora, it's going to have articles that are at a little bit easier reading level. So if you're finding that the stuff that pops up in EBSCO is just a little bit too hard for you to read, then you can do a wind energy search in Explora, and then it'll pop up some articles there. Okay. All right, the next one, newspaper source. This one is going to be good if you have a topic that has been recently in the news. All right, so let's say some topics that have recently been in the news. Black Lives Matter. And then you can find articles that will deal with things that have been in recent news publications. So this one, The Power of Diversity. This one looks like it's from cityandstatenewyork.com. So it's something that the State of New York has published. All right, so that's if your topic is something that's been in the news recently, newspaper source might be a good one to look for. And then GAIL is going to be your main one, so probably pretty much everybody is going to use GAIL at some point. I'll show you how to log into GAIL here quick. GAIL, for some reason, has a few extra steps. So you have to click on the middle school and click on the middle school. It's going to pop up something to authenticate. This is where you are going to put in our school username and password. And then it says, you've successfully logged in as Indian Hills Junior High School. Click here to access the resource. So you have to go back to clicking here. All right, once you click, it will let you in. It'll say up here, it'll say Indian Hills Junior High, so you know that you're in the school. But you are also going to want to go ahead and sign in with Google. There we go. Now it says that I am signed in with Google. When you sign in with Google, is it going to pop up here? There we go. When you sign on with Google, it says that you can save documents, citations, and highlights right to your Google Drive. So that's a great feature if you are doing research and finding some good articles. It'll save straight to your drive. All right, so this would be another good one to type in something like wind energy. And you'll find a whole bunch of articles there. Okay. All right, the next slide, there we go, is going to talk about databases for debates. So these are databases that are going to be good if you picked a topic that is controversial or a topic that has more than one side to it. Things like social issues, you're going to want to go to SIRS. And then there's also Points of View Reference Center. This features articles that focus on controversial and debatable topics, and it also contains arguments and persuasive writing. So if we go to SIRS, the nice thing about these two also is that you can also log into Google here, so you can save things directly to your drive. But these two databases have some good topics already populated for you. So some trending topics: gun control, social media, virtual classrooms, homework, climate change, animal rights, artificial intelligence, police brutality, abortion, mental health, coronavirus, video game addiction. So you can see there's some good examples there for you. And then Points of View, that one is down here. And you have to click on this. All right, so Points of View, kind of the same thing. It has this main header in here of things that have been in the news lately. So Equal Rights Amendment, transgender restroom use, Uber and the ride-sharing industry, of course, the coronavirus. So it kind of goes through a couple of different topics that are important or that have been in the news a lot. But there's also down here, if you scroll down, browse by category, they have tons of things, and you can hit this more button and expand on them. But you know, for me as a librarian, censorship, banning books, that might be a topic that's interesting to me, so I might want to click on that and find some articles about that. So just to review, if you are doing a topic that is a current topic, sometimes even has been in the news recently, EBSCO, GAIL, Research and Context, Explora, and Newspaper Source, those are going to be your good bets for databases to choose. If you are doing something that you need an overview, maybe you just need some quick facts to add some reliability or some credibility to your paper, Britannica and Culturegrams are going to give you lots of factual information. And if your topic is more of a debatable topic, you will want to look into SIRS and Points of View Reference Center. Those two databases will help you with a topic like that.